good morning, my lovely people. What is everybody doing this lovely Saturday morning? Yesterday, morning, Samantha. Yesterday, I am outside this lovely morning on the side porch. I was going to do it from my front porch, but my neighbors are still sleeping. They got their downstairs window open, so out of respect for them, I am on the side of my house. So, was everybody good? It's good. Not good. Damn, my words are tongue twisted. How are you this morning, Samantha? Hope you having a wonderful morning. Well, I've been up since I'm gonna say about 7:30, not 8 o'clock. I want to say 7:30, 8 o'clock, somewhere around that time. I normally come on around like 10:30, but today I decided to come on a little bit earlier. So I've been up around that about that long. Right now, I'm in the process of making a black headband. I'm almost done with it. I just gotta finish a couple more stitches on it, and then I'll be done and sew it together. That's pretty much all I have to do on this one. Other than that, I really don't have much to do on this. I was supposed to be finished with it last night, but I was like, got tired and went to sleep. And I'm also trying to finish up the last of this purple. So, what the? Really nothing. Besides a cup of coffee and a piece of toast, that's all I had. Coffee and a piece of toast. Other than that, I didn't have nothing else. Then also made a green one yesterday. I made so far in the past 2 days. I made two purple ones, a green one, and plus the black one in the past 2 days. But other than that, and then I also made what other ones that I made? I made several purple ones. It's just out of this one alone. I think I made like three out of this one. Whereas like you can tell that's starting to deflate in the middle. One green one. Yeah, I've seen the the pulling ones, the multi variegated ones. And far as the variegated ones, that was a pulling one y'all seen. And I wound up using two ball two balls of that. Okay, there we go. This is the one I need. So I normally keep. I found this one. For the longest, I was looking for this to hold all my noodles and stuff in, but and my stitch markers. Couldn't find this thing for months until I was going through my upstairs closet and looking through some of those bags and found it. And I was like, I knew I had that before I went out and bought another one. But I was like, I know I got it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Couldn't find it. Went out and bought another one. Somehow lost that one. And I was like, mm. But I'm glad that I found that one. I'm very glad that I found it. Because with that, I had, I know I wanted out of B or G in their giveaway. Can't remember which one I got it from, won it from, but I know I won it from one of them. It was like sometime last year when I won it. And what came in it was some stitch markers, some what else came in it? These double these double-sided hook slash knitting needles. One side is a crochet hook and the other side is a knitting needle part. Um, a few stitch markers, and I forget what this is called, but it also came in this, and it came with other things inside of it too. I added the stitch markers inside of them, not the stitch markers, but the sewing needles. So uh, only this one I'm making is for my aunt, but she specifically asked for a black one, so that's the color I'm making for her right now. If I can get this to line up right, I can sew it together. And some people always ask me, how do I work with black? And I was like the same way I do every other yarn, but I will say this as far as myself. Working with black, as long as you take your time, you should be okay working with black. Because I know, only reason why I say that is because that when you do first start off, depending on what project that you're working with, Yes, it is kind of hard to see. As long as you have the right lighting and take your time, you should be fine working with black. Same way like you do with any other dark color. And I like it. I don't have no issue with working with black, but I keep black in my stash just in case if I need to go with a certain project. Same thing like I do for white. You never know what you might need it for to go with a certain project. This is the black one. As you can't really tell, but hey, Angel Renee, good morning. Now I'm officially done with the black one. Let me see something. There we go. I can't even get my brightness up a little bit. Finally done with the black. Now I want to finish up the lustrous purple. Because I still have like several other colors I still have to do. I still got to use up to let my green that I started. Well, I'll make some cookies. I haven't made cookies in a long time. Cause that's around the time I got up this morning, around about 7:30, 8 o'clock this morning. Good morning, Rebecca. How are you this lovely morning? Yeah, I've been up about 7:30, 8 o'clock. Normally, I don't come on until about like 10:30 ish, 10:45, sometimes 11 on Saturdays. But I'm like, I'm up. Why not? Oh, sugar do be the best sometimes. Last time I had cookies is when I ate Oreos. That was the last time I had cookies, and that was over a while ago. That was about maybe 2, 3 months ago. The last time I had cookies, and I'm surprised the birds are still chirping. Crap. Oh well, I'll already fix this one. reason why I do like doing Saturday mornings is because one, it's kind of quiet here, kind of quiet around this time of the day, other than the cars going back and forth on Saturday mornings. Because the majority of people around where I live at is still probably sleep or at work or what. And plus, on top of that, really ain't nobody on YouTube that much either. Right? Headbands. That's still. My aunt had asked me for a black one, so I'll make her one. I still have to finish the few of these, the last of this purple that I gotta finish, and then I also have to make some green ones for my little cousin's cheerleading team that started. So I'm going back and forth between the purple and the green. Cause I only did 3 of the green ones so far, and then I'm waiting for the rest of the girls from my little cousin's cheerleading team so I can measure their heads. So I can go based off of that. Because if I don't, I told them if I don't get the measurements for their heads, I won't be able to make anything. But for as the purple ones, these I'm just making like different sizes for the purple. But you see how mine is? Mine's just short. Because mainly the purple ones are pretty much for like babies and stuff. There's like I have several friends that just recently had kids over the summer and in the spring, and I'm making like different sizes for them. I can eyeball the sizes for their headbands, and all my friends mainly had girls, so that's the reason why I'm using the purple. But I technically don't really use measurements for the babies because it's so in fact always make it 2 sizes bigger than what they originally the actual size so they can wear it again until they're about 2. I'm going to not say 2, but save is like thir- 0 to 3 months. I'm normally making it 2 to 4 months. So they can at least wear it for at least 2 to 3 months during the, like winter time and stuff. Who is texting me? My sister. She asked me if I can get the kids tonight. I don't mind. Trying to see who's rolling up on the side of my house. I don't mind taking my nieces and nephews for a couple hours. My younger two, my younger two nieces. So I don't mind. Cause she's gonna be dropping them off around. According to her, she ain't gonna bring them up here until about like maybe around 1 or 2. Because one younger niece, out of the two younger two, one's 5 and one's 7, 6 or 7, one of the two. There's too many of them. I can't keep track with ages. Thank goodness on Saturday she only works short shifts though. She'll be off about like 7 or 8. And she only works right up to and the killer thing is where my sister lives. My sister lives on the other side of town. Hey, Niecy, but work all the way over here by my house. So why not come on and drop them off? I really don't mind taking them. Girl, you better let. I understand because some people, I know several people is like that because I know my one coworker, her daughter is special needs too, but when I talk to her, because I know my one niece, she's 17 and she's also special needs too. And with her, by looking at my niece, by looking at her, you can't even tell nothing's wrong with her. But with her, it was just like my brother felt like the same way you feel, Angel Renee. But he didn't have, like, he wanted her to, like, not feel left out like all the other kids. So he started, like, letting her go out to outings and stuff like that by herself. But somebody, like, one of my other nieces and nephews was always with her. Like, over time, you just got to tell people how to tell people what to do. And when my niece was born, I didn't know that she was until like weeks after. But it was reasons behind that why she was special needs, and I didn't find out until she was about 2 months that she was. And I'm like, I treat my niece like every other child that comes into my house. I do not discriminate. She's just like everybody else. Like, I do not discriminate her because she is special needs. The same way I yell at them, I yell at her too. Good morning, Jeanette. And at one point in time that she used to be at my house all the time, like every day until she started school. And when she started school, it was kind of hard for her because she was getting bullied or whatever. And girl, I'm not on. I'll be up there at the school like as soon as I get that, because like that phone call, I would never, like, I would always go to school and never call my brother. Never call my brother up there. But they always called me, and it was so bad to the point where the superintendent knew who I was because of simple fact. It was several times I would spaz out on the teachers, the case management workers as her like aide that go up there at the school to help her and stuff. And they was like, it was so bad. The one time I got banned from school for about like a year and a half, to the point where my husband had to go up there and to the school for my niece, because I felt like if I was coming up there to the school and I'm telling y'all that my niece is getting bullied by some of her classmates and y'all not doing anything, and y'all wonder why she spazzed out. Because my niece is like with her emotions, she cannot control her emotions when she feels upset about something. And one of them was like anger. And she spazzed out and wound up beating up one of her classmates or whatever for bullying her. And I was like, look, I tried to tell y'all. I've been up her several times and they tried to suspend her or transfer her to another school. I was like, no, you're not. No, you're not. I tried to tell y'all, but y'all didn't want to listen to me. And now y'all trying to suspend her for something that I told y'all what was going to happen. And then now you're mad at me for spazzing out on y'all about the situation. Have and the killer thing is now I don't have no issues, and she's about to graduate this year too. Ever since then, never had no issues. Well, girl, one thing about me when it comes to kids, I look at everybody's child as my own. Because I feel like if something happened to them while they were in my care, regardless whose child it is, and I get that phone call, I don't, I'm not nice when it comes to bullying or whatever and try to sit here and say that your child, we don't condone violence, but if you don't condone violence or bullying, then why you say, and I, as me, as a parent, I don't like bullies. So I'm going to come up here and say something to you and say something to the parents because I'm not aunt slash parent. Then I'm going to say cuss all y'all out, and then I'm going to want to cuss some parents out for not teaching their child to keep their hands or words to themselves. And they always say words are words, but words do hurt. Words honestly do hurt. That's how I always looked at it. I don't care what nobody say. Words do hurt. It hurts more than somebody actually hitting you. You can recover from a bruise. You can recover from a broken bone, but you mentally you cannot recover from words at all. Some of the words that these people will be saying, or kids be saying, regardless of age, sticks with people for the rest of their lives mentally. And some people that don't realize that, and they always say, "Go ahead and move on," but how can you move on from something that was said? But anyways, what are y'all doing this lovely fine morning? Yes, you did, Miss Niecy. See, now you make me want to go make some cookies. Mm, crap, I forgot to take this food out the oven. Girl, and it's not. Oh, Lord. Work, I happen to have today and yesterday off. I mean, my son already went back to school Thursday, and he starts, my son just started 8th grade. Yeah, that's true. It's like me personally for bullying, as any parent, I feel like sometimes we as parents are the voices of our children because of some fact that our children ain't gonna really say anything. And especially we're with our kids majority of the time anyways. So we know when something ain't right. And if they tell you, they tell you, but at some point in time you are gonna find out uh, what's going on. Girl. And if I was you, this is what I did because with my niece, because I did have my niece majority of the time when my brother worked when my niece was in school. There was I signed found several I looked into several programs that there was an aide that goes to the school with your child, and they will sit there and assist and stuff like that. They'll have like someone as support with them. And this one lady, sweet lady, she been with my niece since she was in the fifth grade. Ever since fifth grade, she been with my niece. And a real sweet woman. And legally, she can't say anything, but whatever happens or whatever at the school, she does have the right to come report back to me or my brother. And if she sees anything, and she's for the way it's legally happened, it would go to the principal, assistant principal, counselors, and all of us will have a meeting and stuff like that. And on my knees, like I said, spazzed out on one of her bullies because legally she can't get in the altercation between her and another student because she can lose her license as far as that. But when it happened, I was at work when she called me, so it was just like over the years, it helped my niece like calm down. Like when my niece is feeling like frustrated or something like that, she will automatically pull my niece out of the room until my niece calm down. So there are several programs in each state that is willing to help you and your children. It takes time, and I know my niece's insurance, because she's underneath my brother's insurance, does pay for it. And on top of that, if there's like anything that happens after school and the aide reports back to the principal and the principal doesn't do anything, that or the school doesn't do nothing, she is legally to report the principal or whoever she told and get in contact with doesn't do anything. They can also get in trouble and all have a meeting or whatever, blah 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 blah. And when that happened with my niece, that happened with my niece when she was in ninth grade. And also too with her, when that broke out that day with my niece, the aide called off. So she wasn't there to help my niece to cope, but when she found out about it, she was mad. And speaking of her, she's coming over. Speaking of my niece, she's coming over next weekend. Because she called me early. She was the main reason why I got up this morning. Because she called me talking about, Auntie, can I come over this weekend? Can I come over? I'm like, I don't mind. But she was like, no, I'll just come over next weekend. And she wants me to make her favorite double chocolate cake. So I told her I'll make her double chocolate cake. I don't know what it is with these kids and my food. Because they all say, especially like my brother's kids, they be like, Auntie, your food is much better than Daddy's. You're welcome anytime. And sorry about the camera. My one nephew just walked up. My oldest nephew. He came and stayed the night. Wanted to let me know he was leaving. And my one nephew came over and stayed the night. But he also works over here too on the weekends. So he's leaving out for work because he has to be there at 11. But like during the summertime, I don't care what hours you work, but during the school year, you're only allowed to work weekends. Me, my sisters, and my brothers all decided that once they hit that age and start working, we don't care what they work during like Christmas, like the breaks during the school year and the summertime. But during the school year, you're only allowed to work weekends. That's it. Because we feel like education is more important. So it's easier for him to come over to my house on Fridays when he gets out of school, so he can go to work. And I don't mind having the kids over here alone, and they're really respectful too. And there's a deer in my backyard. Normally, I see him early morning on my way to work, which reminds me I don't want to go to work tomorrow. Thank goodness tomorrow is one of my late days, so I don't have to be there at 4 in the morning. So I'm grateful for that. I'm so happy that tomorrow is a late day. And on top of that, I'm waiting for my package to come here too. Because I had ordered some stuff for my husband and my son, so and I can't wait for it to get here. And I hope they like it. I really do hope they like what I got them. And then I don't know, like I might do another live later. I don't know, depending on how I feel, because I still have to go, still do some stuff around the house, and then I'm I'm afraid to cut my bushes because of what happened with my finger. No, you're fine, because I still have to finish cutting my bushes, but I'm afraid to because the last time I cut them, I broke my finger in 3 different spots. I would ask my nephew to do it, but the last time he cut my bushes, I still have a big old hole inside of my bushes. So no. And with my husband, I could ask him, but with him and his health, it's gonna be kind of hard for him to do. And my son is too short to do it. And I see the birds are really loud this lovely morning. Yes, sports always can. I feel like school and activities always come first, regardless. Because when my son had asked me about that when he turned 16, I told him I didn't really care about him working, but he's only allowed to work weekends, and that was it. Because, like, I don't want him thinking that going from school to straight coming home, changing, going then straight to work, and then now he's falling behind because of his homework and schoolwork and everything else. And the same rules applies with all of them. Me and my siblings all agreed that once they hit that age, that they're allowed to work, but when school starts, education first. And like, and my philosophy is like, I don't really care what they do when they graduate, but I only ask for 3 things out of all of them: don't do drugs, don't go to jail, and don't do nothing stupid. And technically, like, finish school first, don't go to jail, and don't get strung out on drugs. Those are the only 3 rules I have. Because, like, I want them at least to have a high school diploma. I don't care if they go to college or to a trade school, but at least they have their high school diploma. That's all that counts. Because sometimes college ain't always for certain people. So I'm like, why not? True. That's like with my son. Since he was in, since he started like fourth grade, ever since he was in fourth grade to he was in sixth grade, he played sports for the district. And now since he's in the middle school, he plays for the JV team at the high school and stuff like that. But he will be playing varsity when he gets to ninth grade. And I'm like, yes. I always try to have him at least do two sports a year. At least two sports. Or some after school activity. I don't care if it's a sport or the chess club. Well, I don't care what it is, as long as you're doing something after school. Because I feel like I don't want him to think it's okay to like run the streets or whatever. And sometimes he do hang out with his friends sometimes, but all his friends does the same thing he does. And some once in a while, since it's Saturday, I know he's going. Him and his friends go since it's still nice out. But I do know him and some of his friends going to go to the park and play basketball. I wonder. And the killer thing is, this is how I know that they're in front of my house. I can be downstairs in my basement washing clothes, and all I hear is a group of kids in front of my house, and I'm like, and one of them had to have a distinct voice, and I'm looking like, yeah, his friends are here, and it'd be like 15 of them, like literally posted up on the side of my house, and they're loud. And I remember one, I think it was like back in June when all the kids got out of school around that time. It was like a week after they got out of school, and I would happen to be off that day, and I'm still asleep, and I fell asleep on my couch, and I heard uh, like all these kids like in front of my house, and I'm like, wait a minute, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. Why is all these? Why I'm hearing a bunch of kids? And I happen to look. It's all my son and all his friends on my front porch. I'm like, dude, if y'all don't shut up, I'm like, why y'all don't? Why are y'all so loud? I was like, y'all do not need to be this loud. Yeah, I really did. And I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? I understand like y'all over here having conversations and all, but y'all don't got no reason to be this loud at 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, how you know some people ain't sleep? And remind you, it's nothing but teenage boys. Oh, you're good, Rebecca. I just started on another headband. So I don't blame you. So I got until the end of September to finish at least 30 headbands. No, 40 headbands at the end of until the end of September. And most, like I said, most of them is for my little cousin's cheerleading team. And plus, on top of that, I don't mind making headbands because they're mindless to do. Real mindless. Because I know majority of the patterns I do make or do that I do, you know what I'm trying to say. Do make I be finding off of Your Inspirations website, or there are several people I do know that is on YouTube that do have tutorials, and I sometimes I be making their patterns, and I normally find like easy patterns to make that I know that ain't gonna take too much time on. I could make the harder patterns, I could, but my brain process ain't thinking. I refuse to think that hard. But I did find on Your Inspirations the other day that I did download on my computer that they had this handbag. They said that you would need at least two two and a half skeins of yarn to make, and it's a really good pattern. Good morning, Doretha. So I do try, and once I'm gonna probably make that when I'm done with all these headbands. I heard my dog in the kitchen, but it was my cats. Sometimes, like my cats be scaring the mess out of me in the middle of the night. They really do. But for some strange reason, between 1 and 3 o'clock, they have the nerve start running around the house like they crazy and having me thinking that somebody's in my house. It never fails. And I'm like, dude, why are y'all running around like y'all don't got no sense? And then sometimes with my dog, when we're asleep, he scares the mess out of me too, because he will jump up in the bed with me and my husband, and he will crawl underneath the cover and like leaning against my back. And I be thinking it's my husband touching me. And I roll over, and it's him, and roll over on him. All I hear is, and I'm like, dude, why are you underneath the blanket? Why? That makes sense. The main reason why we got the dog is because of my husband. Because my husband, he's not allowed to work anymore. So, and I work full time. My son's in school, back to school now, and I wanted my husband to have some. Even though we got the two cats, but my cats don't really deal with my husband at all like that. I or whatever they've been like that. They barely deal with me at all. Like my own cats don't deal with me, and I had them for about like 4.5 years. And the only time they deal with me and my husband is when their bowls are empty. That's it. Other than that, they don't deal with us. They literally wait until my son comes home. And on top of that, ever since we had him, eh, my husband been like a little bit cheerful, where I will walk him or let him outside in the yard so he can go to the bathroom, and then I will come home walking and stuff like that. So I do most of the walking for him. Or if I'm too tired, I'll just let him out on the side of the house to go to the bathroom. But plus, on top of that, Andrew Ray, it will probably be good for the kids too, if you honestly think about it. That's another reason why, like, I got when I got before I get around the time I got my cats, my son wanted the cats. I honestly did. So I was like, since you wanted them, they're your responsibility. Where you have to feed them, clean out the litter boxes and stuff like that. And he been doing good. It's good. Like also too, like what having pets also give the kids some kind of responsibility around the house, and then reward them a little bit. Like say if you do get a dog and your oldest walks the dog or whatever, or feeds the dog, if you be like, okay, if you do this every single day, then at the end of the week you get a reward. Cause like that's what normally do. And like I said, with your kids being special needs a little bit, my niece that I was just telling you about, she loves walking my dog. And if you think about it too, if you do get a pet, like feeding them, walking them or whatever, if you tell at the end of the week, give them a reward, be like, okay, since you did this, you get this reward or whatever. And that's what I did with my son for the first 2 years of us having the cats, and now it's like clockwork comes in his mind. Okay, I have to clean out the litter box twice a week. I have to feed the cats every 2 days, give them water every day. It clicked in his head. Like me personally, I would say like start off with a cat first because they're more easier to take care of than a dog where you don't have to walk it every day. The only thing you have to do is clean out the litter box 2 to 3 times a week and feed them. Other than that, you're good to go. Instead of walking to have to get up, walk the dog before you leave the house, then and stuff like that. Then that's what I had to do with. my son. So I knew I should have brought my other hook out here. And it was like much easier too. Where like at the time, the only thing I did at the time when I first got my cats, I was the main one that was cleaning out the litter box because at the time my son was like too young to do it himself. But he did make sure that every day they had food and water every single day. But now since he's older, he does do the litter boxes. Oh, girl, I am in the shade. Ew. Have you ever thought about applying for a service dogs for them? And Miss Doretha, I am sitting on my side porch in the shade, okay? You think I was going to sit on my front porch doing this? No, the sun's beating down. So you should be eligible for getting a service dog. Ew. But everyone, I am going to go ahead and go. I'm going to go do this little bit of housework before anything before I don't want to. So I will see everyone later. Peace, love, and happiness, y'all. And thanks everyone for coming past. I will see y'all all later.